Hey, what is going on, guys? This is DK back at you with another video here to break down the 9-game NBA main slate here on Wednesday. A couple things before I get into the video. I believe we're at 1.99 thousand subscribers now, so we're obviously very close to 2,000. And if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying this content, I would really appreciate it if you guys could hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Also, I'm doing a weekly giveaway in this channel where all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. It's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment though per video. It starts with my Monday Night Showdown video that I had up at the beginning of the week. We'll go out throughout the week and we'll end up my Monday Night Showdown video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you enter the giveaway that many times. So say I have 10 videos up for the week, you enter the giveaway 10 times. And the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. No, this is not sponsored by anyone. This is strictly just me giving back to you guys. So I really do appreciate all the support. On this YouTube channel and the live streams as well as Twitter. But with that out of the way, let's look back to see how we're doing Tuesday. So this is my final lineup here with Caruso, Malcolm Brogdon, Jabari, Anthony Davis, Goga, KCP, LMA, and Jokic. So I strictly played tournaments tonight because I went with a lot riskier lineup. A guy like Brogdon, who's the thumbnail of my video for a reason. Jabari Parker was a pretty obvious play there with no John Collins. Goga as well. With Sabonis out, Aldridge is a guy I really liked at low ownership in a bounce back spot. I knew recency bias would make him a little bit lower owned. And then Anthony Davis, currently busting right now against the Bulls. Of all people in my lineup right here, Anthony Davis was the last person I thought was going to bust. So I plugged him in there and I had to sacrifice and take some shots on a guy like Alex Caruso and KCP to fit him in. And then I went with a low-owned Jokic as well, just because he got in foul trouble, of course, right away. So that's pretty frustrating. But there's just games where he will take over. The price was, very low on him, and I knew the ownership would be super low. So that's why I took a shot there. One guy I didn't have who went off, who was I talked about as being my favorite Celtic, was Gordon Hayward there at 6.4K. He just killed it. So that's kind of it. I'm honestly thinking about probably resetting my bankroll going into tomorrow. It's never a bad idea, guys, to press the reset button. I started at I think 400 or 500 in the preseason in my account, and I built it up all the way up to like 2,000. Withdrew a bit, and then a little up and down. I've had some bad luck recently with some injuries and some other things. So probably gonna hit the reset button after this. Withdraw some money and start fresh again. Again, never feel like you have to play the same amount every single day. If you want to take a slate off, that's more than okay, right? We all need a little break sometimes. So probably just going to hit the reset button here and start from maybe like 50 or $100 in my account, see what I can do. But yeah, that's basically it. So let's look at the slate for Wednesday. Let me make sure I get on the right slate. There it is. Okay, so we got a pretty decent size 9-game slate. We don't have the over-unders and the spreads out for all the games. We have them out for 5 right now. So what we have out right now is Kings-Raptors at 217.5 with the Raptors favored by 8.5. Timberwolves-Grizzlies is at 225 with Minnesota favored by 4.5. Magic-Mavericks at 207.5 with Dallas favored by 7.5. 76ers-Jazz at 212 with the Jazz favored by 2. And the Bucks-Clippers sitting at 228 with the Clippers favored by 1. We did just get news that Kawhi Leonard is going to be sitting out for rest in that one, so that's pretty big. But that's basically it. So let's start at center again. And Drummond at the top here at 10.8K. I believe Blake Griffin did already get ruled out for this one. Out Wednesday's game against the Knicks. Yes, so with Blake Griffin out, we can obviously go right back to Drummond here at 10.8K. A bit frustrating that other night against Washington. He still put up 58 fantasy points, but shot 6 of 20. For a big man, that's like unheard of. So, imagine if he shoots like 13 of 20. He has a massive night. So I feel like we got a bit unlucky there in the game against Washington, but great spot here once again against the Knicks. He's just playing huge minutes, so obviously he's a stud that we got to consider. Same thing with Cat here after the couple game suspension. He's a guy that has just been dominating, and right now for his level of production this season, he's underpriced at 10K. Jonas Valanciunas, Jaren Jackson Jr. Not really scared of them. So the only slight concern is the foul trouble risk. But man, I like Cat a lot here as a spend up, and I think he's going to come out aggressive after that 2-game suspension. Embiid at 9.5K. When Philly's fully healthy, it's just a team I kind of avoid. And with Embiid back in a tough match against Utah, I think I'm going to pass there. Now, Sabonis, they haven't currently listed as out, but that was just for the game Tuesday. So we'll see. If Sabonis is active, I like him a lot here at 8.3K. If he misses, we can go right back to Goga there and then look to those other guys like Malcolm Brogdon and such. So that'll be something we have to monitor, but it's a great spot here against Washington. Siakam in a pretty decent spot as well here against Sacramento. He's the guy that's going to play pretty decent minutes in a good game, or in a close game. So I kind of like the buy low. He's at almost the lowest price he's been at this season, and we know he's like their main guy, him and Kyle Lowry. So kind of like him as well at 8K. Nikola Vucevic at 7.9K. Just the minutes have been up and down. I don't mind the price. He's just he doesn't seem like a very, very safe play. So he's someone that's consideration just because of the price. Same thing kind of with Porzingis. It's a tougher matchup against Orlando. Both Orlando plays at least pretty slow. Again, what's the over-under in this one? 207. So again, a pretty low over-under. But same thing I kind of have to say with Vucevic, Porzingis. They're both okay, and they're viable because of their price tags. Gobert is still a pass for me. He's just not doing enough offensively. I think he's overpriced right now, in my opinion. Thomas Bryant, the price has come down on him to 6.8K, but I think he's viable here. He got in foul trouble, I believe, that last game against Detroit. Normally in a close game, he will play low 30s minutes, so don't mind him as a GPP play. Julius Randle at 6.8K, the price has dropped on him a good amount. He started like 8K player at the beginning of the year. Just had a couple of bad games recently against Boston and Sacramento. But we know he does have 40, 50 fantasy point upside. And in a game against Detroit, I think he's very much viable here. I kind of like buying low on guys like I talked about with LaMarcus Aldridge yesterday. It's just the recency bias. People will not play him, but the price tag very much makes him in play. So definitely considering Randall. Capella at 6.4K. So this is the tricky game on the slate, Golden State, Houston, because if somehow Golden State can keep this one close, obviously Harden and Westbrook could have big nights, as well as Capella. Bigs have just been destroying Golden State this year, so this is a spot where I would consider Capella. We just saw what Whiteside did right to Golden State. Centers have been destroying them this year. So Capella's a guy that I'm a little torn on right now because, again, there's obviously blowout risk, but if Golden State keep this close, I think Westbrook or Harden, one of those two, possibly even both, could have a pretty big night, as well as Capella. So this is just something I'll probably decide on later in the day tomorrow whether or not I'm going to play him. Horford, again, those other Philadelphia guys with Embiid back, it's just kind of a stay away. This game in Chicago, Atlanta, I do like this game a good amount. Two bad defenses going up against each other, so I like the prices on these Chicago guys. The concern is it is a back-to-back, but again, we want to target bigs against Atlanta. So I do like the price and the matchup here for Lauri Markkanen. I think right now, at least, probably my favorite game stack, Chicago and Atlanta, just because there's a lot of cheap pieces. But yeah, like I said, I do like Lauri Markkanen a good amount. Same thing with Montrezl Harrell. So we got Kawhi Leonard. Where's Kawhi? Will be out for rest against the Bucks. So with him being out, we could look to some value guys like a JaMychal Green probably, but the main beneficiaries really are Montrez and Lou Williams. And if they're going to keep this one close, where was I? Montrez is 6.2K, Lou Williams at I think he's 6.7. These guys are going to have big nights, and we know they're going to be the main guys in the offense, the catalyst. So yes, I do like Montrezl Harrell, and I do like Lou Williams a good amount here tonight. Let's see. Jonas Valanciunas at 6.1K. It's just the minutes with him that's the concern, right? If he plays 30 minutes, I would love him. It's a good matchup against Cat. He can still get you there in limited time. It's just, again, a minutes thing. So, and we haven't really heard of the minutes limit being lifted yet on him. So I think I could only go there for if we know that he's going to play closer to 30 minutes. Wendell Carter Jr., again, as part of a game stack, don't mind it at all. I guess it's close with him or Lauri Markkanen. I guess I would slightly lean towards Lauri Markkanen, but it's close to these two guys. It's, again, we want to target bigs against Atlanta, and I like this game a lot as part of a game stack if you want a game stack for GPPs. Other options, Jaren Jackson Jr., too risky, gets in foul trouble too much for me for to consider him on this main slate. Let's see. Guys like Bobby Portis and Mitchell Robinson are okay. Just it's David Fizdale. We never really know what the minutes are going to be like, so that's always a concern with those guys. Cauley Stein, he's still kind of being limited in minutes, wise. I don't know if I want to go there. Now, Goga at 4.2K, I would go right back to the well here if Sabonis misses again. So this will be something we have to monitor. If Sabonis plays, I love Sabonis. If Sabonis misses, I love Goga. So that's kind of what we got to wait on for tomorrow is the Sabonis news. Zubac's always a guy that can get you a limited time, but he's not going to play huge minutes. Dwight Powell, I wouldn't mind going there if Maxi Kleber misses. Normally, he's a guy that is pretty productive one given minutes. Kind of had an off night there against the Cavs with only 15 fantasy points in 27 minutes. But if Maxi Kleber misses, I think Dwight Powell plays 25 to 30 minutes, and he'd be a pretty solid value play. Christian Wood, the minutes are way up and down in him. I think he's only GPP viable, really. Gorgie Jane, we can't do with Cat back. I really think that's basically it. This slate is a lot different from the one on, Monday? Because Monday was just, there's so much value, right? And at least right now, I'm making this video Tuesday night. There's not a whole lot of great value on this slate. So let's move on to power forward. Giannis at the top is at 11.7 now. But, with no Kawhi, there's no one that can stay with Giannis Antetokounmpo. So if you can get the salary, right, it's tough because there's not a whole lot of great value play. So playing someone like Giannis at almost 12K is going to be kind of tough unless we get, some value open up throughout the day. But, yeah, as of right now, I mean, obviously I like him if you can get to him, but are you going to feel comfortable with the rest of your lineup? We'll see. So, again, no Kawhi. That's big news. Already talked about a lot of these guys. We still got no Draymond Green. Jabari Parker is okay at 6.7K. I think I would only go there as part of a game stack now. They priced him way up. It's a good matchup here for sure, and a revenge game too. It's just 6.7K. I think he's priced about right now. Yeah, I think I'd only go there as part of a game stack. The Philly guys are just to stay away with Embiid back. Now, Pascal's interesting here at 6.5K. I think a lot of people, maybe hop off this one because of the price tag, but he's playing the Draymond Green role, and it's a good matchup against Houston. So if Golden State's going to keep this one close, Pascal and probably Kai Bowman, Jordan Poole, guys like that are going to have big games. Now, this is, if D'Angelo Russell misses. If D'Angelo Russell is back, then I like D'Angelo Russell a lot, and then that would be a slight downgrade to Pascal. He would still play the big minutes, but the usage would go down on him a bit. Let's see. Marcus Morris is very up and down, but a revenge game here too against Detroit. Plays against his brother Markieff. So if you want to take the brother narrative, play both Marcus and Markieff Morris. We know the upside's there, right? He's been very up and down. So I don't necessarily know if he's a cash game play here, but we know the upside's there. So I think he's very much in play for GPPs. Aaron Gordon, kind of the same thing with Vucevic and Porzingis. Not super excited about the spot, but the price tag makes him play here at 5.9K. Let's see. TJ Warren, very boomer bust. He's very scoring dependent. He has a big game going on right now just because he shot the ball amazing. But again, if his shot's not falling, it can hurt you. It's a great spot here against Washington. So, and the price is viable. It's just if he doesn't knock down his shots, he has a pretty low floor. But again, the spot is really good here against Washington. Let's see. Other options like Covington, those secondary pieces with Cat back, it's kind of a stay away from me at least. Glenn Robinson's okay, but I think I prefer some other Warriors at least. TJ Leaf, don't really want to do that. I prefer Goga for a little bit cheaper. A guy like Otto Porter, I kind of like the price here at 4.5K. I talked about him tonight actually against the Lakers, liking his, I think it's 4.3K. It's just a guy that's going to play, probably 30 minutes in a close game. It's a great spot here. We know he does have upside. So again, I kind of like buying low on guys. This is a great spot for Otto Porter. The concern is it is a back-to-back, but I do like the price on him a good amount. You could look at Thad Young too off the bench. I think I would slightly prefer Otto Porter, but both are definitely viable. Now a guy like JaMychal Green at 3.9K. We'll get a boost here with no Kawhi. he was decent. I think that was the game against Utah when Kawhi sat and he put up 37 fantasy points. I don't think we can expect that from him again, but I think he's on a slate that kind of lacks value right now. I think JaMychal Green's pretty solid. There's other clever pieces. I don't know if I would go there. I think it would be JaMychal Green here. So, yeah, I think he's very much in play as a value play as of right now. Markieff Morris, if you really want to buy low, he got in foul trouble. Only played 14 minutes after playing like 32, and 34 minutes. So obviously there's no guarantee of minutes for him. But at 3.8K, it's going up against his brother. I wouldn't mind taking a shot there. Again, you're not going to feel great because the minutes have been all over the place with him. But if he gets like low 30s minutes, I think he's a very solid value play. But there is pretty big risk, right? Like Spellman and Chris, those are guys I'm not super high on. Just the minutes are not as high on them as some other those Golden State guys. I think that's basically it though. So let's move on to small forward. Again, we're going to talk about Giannis. If enough value opens up, you can definitely look there for sure. Ben Simmons, just those secondary or the Philly guys in general, just kind of a stay away from me. Jeremy Lamb, don't mind at 6.9K. I think I prefer Malcolm Brogdon, maybe even TJ Warren for less too. But yeah, I do want some pieces for Indiana here against Washington. It's a very, very good matchup. Wiggins with catbacks to stay away. Again, TJ Warren's viable, but very scoring dependent. Now, Bruce Brown Jr. at 5.3K, I believe Derrick Rose and Tim Frazier out once again here. Derrick Rose out, Tim Frazier ruled out. Yeah, so both those guys are out. So Bruce Brown will start once again at point guard. And the thing that I like is you can play him at small forward here. So where is Bruce Brown Jr.? 5.3K. He had a slow start to that game against Washington, but picked it up in a big way. 14, 7, and 7, 2 steals and 3 blocks. I don't think we can expect those peripherals again from him, but it's a pretty solid match here against the Knicks, and he's going to be asked to play big minutes. So I wouldn't mind going back there again. I don't think we can expect to get 40 from him again. I know he's got 40 back-to-back games. I think a more realistic expectation is like 25 to 30. But like I said, he seems pretty safe right now if he's going to continue to play those type of minutes for a starting point guard. Let's see, other options. Eric Gordon's currently listed as questionable, so if you really want to, you can go to Daniel House. He has actually been solid. Had a few pretty solid games this year, but I think I would probably prefer other plays in that price range. Troy Brown's interesting here at 4.5K. Came off the bench, played 30 minutes. So they kind of eased him back into it, 17, 22, and then 30. I would actually not be super surprised if he starts this game. So that's something we have to monitor. We saw it with Isaiah Thomas and him starting last game. If Troy Brown starts in this one, I think he would be very much viable as a cheap play. Still, even off the bench, he's okay. Jordan Poole, I think he would probably be my third favorite Warrior. I think it's Kai Bowman and Pascal right now. I know those guys are the most expensive, but I just feel the most confident of those two. Jordan Poole would probably be number 3. Again, very scoring dependent, did not shoot the ball well at all. 3 of 16, but still put up 29 fantasy points. Actually get a few assists and rebounds here. So, yes, he's definitely in play as a cheap option. Again, Eric Gordon currently listed as questionable. PJ Tucker's viable, a guy that's very, very low usage, but should play big minutes. Again, back-to-back kind of off games for him. Let's see, Damian Lee, don't mind. These are guys, again, these Golden State guards and wings, I would only really consider if D'Angelo Russell misses. If D'Angelo Russell plays, it would probably only be Pascal that I would consider. It would probably be D'Angelo Russell and Pascal. But yeah, Lee, if D'Angelo Russell misses again, we could look to him as a value play for sure. So Josh Okogie is interesting here. Okogie at 4K. We have Jeff Teague currently listed as questionable and Shabazz as doubtful. If they both miss, they might ask Josh Okogie to start at point guard, or even like Jared Culver. So that's something we have to monitor. But if both those guys miss, yes, and Okogie becomes a very, very solid play if he starts. Same thing with Culver. So again, that will be something we will have to monitor. Let's see, what else? So Culver's here down at 3.2K. Again, they really don't have any other point guards. So I think either probably a Koji would start a point. I guess they could start Carl Culver at the point too, but that's only if Teague and Shabazz both miss that we could look to those guys. I think that's really it. So let's move on to shooting guard. Harden at the top at 11.2K. It's a great spot. Again, the concern is, can Golden State keep it close? Now, that was a concern the other night, and Golden State ended up beating Portland. So, yeah, I think he's viable. Just know the risks. There's definitely some blowout risk here, but it's a great spot if this game stays close. Doncic in not necessarily the best matchup, but the price tag at 9.8K, he's a guy that just fills up the stat sheet. He's had one bad game this year where he put up 27 fantasy points. Other than that, it's been 50 plus every single night. So obviously you got to consider him here as a spend up. Beal's interesting here at 8.6. Don't mind the buy low here. The price is dropping on him. The matchup is decent against the Pacers, and in a close game, he's a guy that's gonna play, high 30s minutes. And we know the upside's there, right? He put up 72 against that game against Houston. So I think he's viable as a contrarian kind of spend up. I think he goes a little bit overlooked on the slate. Now, D'Angelo Russell would really like him if he plays. If he's out, then we could look to a guy like Kai Bowman. So again, that would be something we have to monitor. Malcolm Brogdon, I wouldn't mind going right back to the well here at 8.1K. The concern is it's a back-to-back, and that game just went to overtime too. So there's obviously some risk there with him playing big minutes the night before, but it's just such a good spot. I would really like him if Sabonis misses again, just because that's a huge piece of the offense missing. Even if Sabonis plays, I think Brogdon's playable, but yeah, it's a really good spot. The concern is the back-to-back here. Let's see, Donovan Mitchell would probably be the one guy on the Jazz I would consider. He does have the upside. He's put up 50 fantasy points, twice this year at 7.8K. I think he's priced fairly with a little bit of upside. I know Zach LaVine's a guy I really like here at 7.2K. Again, I like this game as part of a game stack. Two bad defenses. The concern with the Chicago guys, it is a back-to-back, but you can't get a much better spot here than against the Hawks. And LaVine's a guy we know he's going to shoot the ball a ton. And at 7.2K, I think he's underpriced. So, yes, I do like Zach LaVine a good amount here at 7.2K. Again, like Middleton, Bledsoe, those are guys I only look to with Giannis out. With Giannis playing, he just eats up too much of the usage. So I just don't want to go there. A guy like Lou Williams is, again, if they're going to keep this close, Lou and Montrez are going to have big games. And they're both underpriced right now with, Kawhi missing this game. So I do like Lou and I do like Montrez in the kind of that late night hammer game. They're both underpriced with no Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion. It's a slightly tougher match against Milwaukee, but again, there's just so much usage to go around there with Kawhi out. Van Fleet, I don't mind here at 6.3K. It's a great matchup, and he's going to play big minutes. He's played, he's averaging like 35, 40 minutes a game. And again, a really good spot. So him, Pascal, I'll talk about Kyle Lowry in a sec. I do like these guys a decent amount here for Toronto. Kennard is interesting here. I think a lot of people are still going to prefer Bruce Brown for a little bit less, but Kennard's viable as well. These are two guys that really have to step it up with all those guys missing for Detroit, and it's not a bad spot at all here against New York. So Kennard, Bruce Brown Jr., obviously Drummond, possibly even Markieff Morris as a riskier play, are very much in play here for Detroit. Pat Beverly's okay. I think I'll just prefer Lou Williams and Montrez for a bit more. Let's see. What else do we got? Markelle Fultz picks up the start, but it's just, he's kind of I don't know. I think he's okay as a value play. I guess you can consider him if not a lot of value plays open up. Burks is interesting here off the bench. Him and Damian Lee, not going to play the huge minutes, but they're probably going to play in the range of 25-ish or so if D'Angelo Russell misses again. So these are value guys that are very much in play if D'Angelo Russell misses. Again, great spot against Houston. There is blowout risk. Kevin Huerter, they said the Mets are going to go up to him to 30 to 35 in that last game. I haven't got a chance to look at the box score yet to see what he played, but if he's going to play 35 minutes, I think he's a viable cheap option. Not like a super, super high usage guy, but again, this slate kind of lacks some value as of right now. George Hill at 3.6K, guys like him and Ilya Silva are, guys we can look to, again, if not a whole lot of value opens up in the slate. So I think he's okay as a really cheap option. Chris Dunn looked decent there in the game against the Lakers tonight. The minutes have kind of been down on him and Kobe White, but at 3.5K, doesn't have to do a whole lot. So again, another guy we can consider. There's not a whole lot of great value as of right now on the slate. So we got to consider some of these, slightly riskier guys. But that's basically it, I think, here for shooting guard. Yeah, so let's move on to point guard. So at the top, we're going to talk about Harden, Doncic. Westbrook in a discount here at 9.4K off of Harden. Don't mind that at all. He's had one bad game there against Miami where they got blown out. But other than that, it's been 50+ every single night. It's, again, a great spot, but there's definitely blowout risk. So know what you're getting into if you play him. The blowout risk is big, or there is a blowout risk. I wouldn't say it's huge. There's definitely blowout risk, but if it can stay close, I think Westbrook or Harden and or Capella could have a pretty big game. Now, Trae Young at 9.1K, they limited his minutes to 30 in that last game. It is a back-to-back too, so I'm slightly concerned, but man, I love the upside on him in this game against the Bulls. Yeah, this is something we'll have to monitor going into tomorrow. Hopefully the minutes limit goes up, or there's just no minutes limit at all. But again, back-to-back, I'm slightly worried, but man, I really want to play Trae in this spot. It's a really good spot. And again, I like that game a lot. It's part of the game stack. I think my two favorite game stacks would be Chicago, Atlanta, as well as Houston, Golden State. I know there's blowout risk there, but those two kind of look the most appealing as of right now. I already talked about how I like Brogdon a lot. De'Aaron Fox is viable at 7.4K. Not necessarily the best matchup against Toronto, but he's going to play big minutes, 35 or so. So, yeah, he's viable. Did I skip over Kyle Lowry? I did at 8.4K. So him, Fred VanVleet, and Siakam are all very much in play. They all seem slightly underpriced right now. Lowry is just playing huge. Like, these starters for Toronto are playing huge minutes, like close to 40 minutes a night. Guys like Lowry, VanVleet, and Siakam. That seems pretty safe in a matchup here against the Kings. A pretty good matchup. The concern is, I guess there is some blowout risk here, but man, Lowry, VanVleet, and Siakam all seem pretty appealing. Ja Morant, it's just the minutes with him. They're slightly going up now, 29, 28. He was decent there again in the game against Houston. At 7.1K, I just don't know if I want to go there, if they're going to continue to kind of limit his minutes. Again, I already talked about how I really like Lou. Him and Montrez are the main beneficiaries of Kawhi sitting there. Now, Kai Bowman at 5.9K, I wouldn't mind going here at all. If D'Angelo Russell misses. If D'Angelo Russell plays, it's a complete stay away. If he misses, Kai Bowman's going to play 35 to 40 minutes, and it's a up-tempo game. I assume this one's going to be a pretty high over/under. I would guess like 235 or so. So, if D'Angelo Russell misses, I think Kai Bowman and Pascal are the clear targets here for Golden State. Isaiah Thomas even viable as well. Picked up the start at 5.3K. Played 24 minutes. Now, the game did blow out. He got pulled with like 3 minutes left. So he's on pace for like 27 or so, I guess. At 5.3K, he's very much in play. I think he's going to continue to start, and maybe those minutes continue to go up. So if he pushes, maybe 30 minutes, then he's very much viable. So we know the upside's there. I think he's very much in play here at 5.3K. Let's see. Other options. I guess I don't mind DeAndre Bembry. I'd have to look to see what the minutes were like for him tonight, but it's a good spot here against Chicago. What else? I think that's kind of it. Guys like Trier, Nicotine, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, Frank Ntilikina, whatever. The minutes are just so up and down for these guys. It's just, I don't know if I can trust Fizdale on a slate like this. I think I would probably look elsewhere. But that's really it. So yeah. Again, guys, it's really, really important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts as we get, injury news, stuff like that throughout the day. Again, a lot of things can change in making this video Tuesday night, so very important to follow me on Twitter, as well as check out the live stream. I'll be live streaming 45 minutes before lock on my YouTube channel. So yeah, very important to follow me on Twitter as well as check out the live stream. But I think that's going to do it, guys. So thanks again for coming and check out the video. I really appreciate it. Again, we're getting so close to 2,000 subscribers. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for the live stream. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you later.